Hello and welcome to Soul Fusion Cafe. I am your host, Jess Juntunen, here for an hour of radiant wellness and soul forward living. And today on Soul Fusion Cafe, it's all about receiving and thriving. And I think it's such an important topic anytime to talk about the energy of receiving and how we can really look at our own ability to receive, how we can move through blocks to receiving in order to really completely thrive. And this is something I notice a lot with clients I'm working with, friends, people that I know that receiving can be actually quite counterintuitive to the beliefs that we might have running under the surface about our worthiness, and a lot of other stories about what it means to fully receive. And this is really an expansive, divine, feminine energy, the energy of receiving. So we're going to be diving into divine feminine and receiving and how to really thrive in our lives during this hour. And, if you're just joining now, I'm Jess Juntunen. This is Soul Fusion Cafe, your place for radiant wellness and soul forward living, where we're always talking about wellness, multidimensional wellness, how we can increase our own sense of health, vitality, and have the tools and resources to move forward in our lives and claim the life that we really deserve to be leading. And, it's always an honor to be here with you. This is a live show, so if you're catching it on Tuesday, right now we are at 12 p.m. Eastern live every Tuesday. That's 9 a.m. Pacific. And if you're catching it in the recording, I'm sure you're here in the perfect moment, so welcome. And, if you're here live, you can always call in. We do have a live call board. Actually, I need to start that up. The call number is 517-208-1500. And yeah, if you call in, if you have a question about what's being shared today, also, if you have a miracle sharing, something in your life that you've manifested in the spirit of receiving, what have you been receiving? I would love to hear from you about that. And, if you have a request for a mini reading, that's also the place to do it. So that number is on the screen, and I'm heading over to open up that live call board. So sorry that I did not have that open yet. And, just hang tight, and we'll get that going. Awesome. So in this moment, feel into your own ability to receive. Where are you at in that ability to really receive, and what are we receiving? The abundance of the universe. And abundance comes in so many forms. So, is it in the form of relationships? Is it in the form of money? Is it in the form of new opportunities? Is it in the form of just receiving the blessings that are all ever present in the day, because it is all the abundance, and it all is the ways that we connect. And it looks like our live call board is now live. Just got to check the settings here one quick second. And yeah, we are live over there. So that call-in number is 517-208-1500. 1-517-208-1500. So excellent. Yeah, if you want to get in the queue, that's where you go. And I love taking some live calls during our show. And we're also broadcasting over at Oneness Talk Radio. Also, we are broadcasting at YouTube at Oneness Talk Radio, and also on Facebook, Oneness Talk Radio. So amazing. So yes, hello, namaste. And yeah, seeing people popping in the chat over from Facebook and YouTube. So wonderful. And, just in this moment of receptivity and receiving, just being with your heart and connect in and just feel in this moment. Feel in this moment what is ready for you to receive, because June is so expansive, and the ability to manifest is so big. And we have to be in the flow of receiving, and I want to talk about a little bit what can stop that flow of our receptivity. So if we are in the energy of victimhood, that's like number one. There's the victim triangle, where there are 3 points to that triangle, right? And that's the abuser, victim, and persecutor. And we might play any of those roles within our own self. We will be our own abuser, our own victim, our own rescuer. Sorry, I don't know if I said those points right. It's rescuer, abuser, and the victim. Those are the 3 points. So when we transcend that and we heal and we're really living in abundance and that receptivity, we can lift into the healer, teacher, mentor, the healed version of that triangle. So, oftentimes if we are not fully receiving, there's some aspect of that victim at play. It's a deservedness. Do I deserve? Am I worthy? Feeling that we're not worthy. It can be, outside sources. That would be the perpetrator energy that keep us from absolutely harnessing the ability to receive, because we're saying it has to come from somebody outside, and somebody outside is sabotaging that. I don't get paid enough at work, or too many taxes got taken out of my check, or whatever the story is. If we're invested in why we don't have enough, and this is way beyond money receiving, right? Money is the energy of density and of our 3D experience here. So really knowing that, you have to transcend that idea that this is something that is created outside of you, that it's just about money. It's so much bigger than that. And our abundant nature is the one that receives. So I love this analogy to really help understand how we are in the receiving and giving, and there's a balance. And June really has been carrying this balanced energy all month long, and we are very much in a building energy right now, is with that new moon and full eclipse last week. We really, and it was a peak up level day too, we really had an opportunity to be with the vision of what we're birthing. And to thrive, we really want to be in that flow of receiving and giving, and receiving your vision, acting on your vision. The receptivity is so divine feminine, and it is the ability to receive in. But this analogy that I love, that I was just mentioning, really helps you tune into how are you receiving. So this is the waterfall, river, ocean analogy, and the waterfall is the receptivity. So we are the river, and there's a waterfall that is pouring into that river. And tune into, is that waterfall there? I mean, is it a trickle? Is it dried up? Is it huge and roaring? And as the river is receiving all of that flow and abundance, right? But the river doesn't hold on to that abundance. It doesn't say, oh no, more might not come. It just sends this beautiful abundance along, and it travels to the ocean, where we give out into the ocean from that abundance, right? So you might pay attention to both sides on this too. There can be an imbalance, right, in the giving. So by being the river and being that flow, and the ocean out there, sometimes it's like, oh, maybe there's not enough, and we hold on and we're not giving as much. The reason why I focus on receiving today, because that actually is a very difficult part, often for women in particular, but anybody, if we're out of balance in our divine feminine power, we're saying, often like over giving, right? That's like so common on our journey, and you're giving to kids and loved ones and community, and not receiving fully. And we all know that analogy of when the oxygen mask drops in the plane, they tell you to put yours on first. So in the receptivity and the receiving energies, it's really that idea that, like, if we aren't receiving, how are we really giving to others? How are you that river? How can you give to others if you aren't receiving? Or if you're receiving a little trickle, how are you really giving to others? You're giving from somewhere depleted, or you're giving from scarcity, or you're over giving and not receiving. And then what, your river looks maybe really mucky or it's stagnant. So, really feel into that analogy, because it's such a beautiful way to check in every day with, how am I receiving? And another interesting point is that sometimes we're afraid to receive too much, right? The river receives everything that the waterfall puts into it, and the river grows and shifts to be able to hold that energy. And sometimes we're afraid, but if we're the river, we know we can handle all of the abundance. Sometimes we're actually afraid of receiving, and how will we be able to manage all that we're receiving? And in our fear, we hold it back. So there are so many pieces to this, and the core piece is always going to be a worthiness piece, and as a self-ascension intuitive counselor, I always have to wrap it into those foundations of self-ascension in order to really be in your heart center, which is the foundation of our self-ascended state. The heart is the root. It's the foundation of our ascended state and way of being. With this in balance and harmony of the receiving, of the giving, of the love connected to the oneness, which is always in receiving and giving at all times. When we can connect here and lift up, then we can see the possibilities. We can step into that roaring flow and say, yes, I receive. But if there's a worthiness piece that says, I don't deserve, and it's like, maybe you've worked on a lot of these tapes or angles, but if it's not fully showing up in your life in every way, then that some of it might be mental versus moving into the energetics of your being, and the real feeling of alignment at a deeper level. There's things that run under our subconscious that are like tapes that run over and over, that are programmed, that actually keep us from getting to where we want to go. It's why a mantra or a affirmation, if you just say it over and over without connecting to the actual energy of what you're calling in, without connecting to your actual heart, then you're just mentalizing it. So you could say over and over, I'm abundant, but you have to believe it, and you have to have worked at the subconscious level. If you're not seeing shifts, that's why affirmations don't work. We have to align with the real feeling behind it, and align with the actual qualities of what we're calling in, not just saying the words, and not saying them from a state of, oh, I hope this works, or I really coming from a place of lack and asking for help as the disempowered being. That's why we won't see all those results all the time that we might want to see. We have to come from a really empowered place, so yes, saying hello to everybody. So wonderful. Hello, Lars and Gary and Pauline and Newman Beauty. Namaste over at Facebook, at YouTube. Ashtara B. So beautiful to see you all. Hello, Pauline. I don't have my cards today, sweetheart, with me at the show. So yeah. And, I'll throw up again that call-in number if anybody would like to call in. We'll take calls in a little bit here. 517-208-1500 is the call-in number. If you have a question about what's being shared today, if you want to share a miracle that's happening in your life, what you are receiving, share that with us. Or if you'd like to request a mini reading, please do call in. And hey, if you're catching the recording, come back on Tuesdays at noon Eastern time. We're always live here, and you can hop in then. Or you can send me an email, Jess at selfascensionstudios.com. selfascensionstudios.com. Jess at selfascensionstudios.com. If you have a question or sharing or want to request a reading, I can always feel into those emails and bring something onto the air if it feels right. So you can always email me there too if you're unable to call in, and we'll see if we can get you on the air that way. So, and of course you can always chat over at YouTube and Facebook. I can't always keep up and look at it, but yeah, it's beautiful. Alehia, hello, namaste. So yeah, awesome to see so many of your faces, and really loving that you guys are enjoying this content, because I think it's always something really important to remind ourselves of, and even if we've worked with abundance energies and how to really thrive in them, you know, we need that reminder all the time because of those subconscious tapes. And if they're really strong, you know, if there's a piece that's just like, I'm discovering I don't feel worthy to receive, or I'm discovering I don't feel good enough, a core belief running underneath is there. That's where you can go in and really start to apply healing and move forward beyond just the words. And I will tell you guys, you know, if you have anything that is going on that, you know, you are ready to resolve, and it very likely it's going to be a first, second, third chakra issue. It's going to be those foundational chakras if it's related to worldliness, lack manifesting in your life, your body, your home, your work, all those kind of places that are tied to the worldly abundance. You know, that's those lower three chakras of the root, sacral, and solar. And they really are the foundation. You know, I share this one often, that if the foundation of our house is crooked, not level, or cracked, what is the rest of the house going to look like that is built upon that foundation? And our foundational chakras are where a lot of these energies are going to live. So if there are sticky, persistent themes, you know, those are the places to start going and hook up with a Avesa medical intuitive, or a coach, or a counselor, or energy healer, or someone that can understand this and start helping you shift. You know, go book a discovery call with me at selfascensionstudios.com and see where I could support you, or go look for that being which calls you. And also really, really take this one in, because navigating the inner matrix starts July 1st, July 1. Navigating the inner matrix is I think it's 9 weeks, but it might actually be longer total. But it is a 3-month journey essentially, and we are going to be going through this together. If you go to shriankira.com and check it out and get registered, navigating the inner matrix, even if you have done this program before, you know, of course, we're all doing this together again in this up-leveled energy of 2021. Or if you've never heard of it or don't know what I'm talking about, or who Shri and Kira are my mentors and teachers, and many of the community I know that are hanging out in the chat and tune in follow Shri and Kira as well. And if you haven't or don't know, I mean, they are bar none the most amazing teachers teaching the yoga of self-ascension and the energy of Avesa. And there's been this 2-week journey of Avesa. I know many of you are on. It's been profound. The breath practice, I mentioned this on my show last week. You can probably still get in for that also at shriankira.com. And they are bringing all of these gifts back to the world this year, and the Avesa has been free. The NIM is so affordable to be part of, and you are being coached week by week. You have materials, you've got PDFs, you've got recordings, you have a meeting in class, and what it is doing is helping those foundational chakras release any of those limiting beliefs, unforgiveness, frozen energies, and to help that foundation come into place. So if you have things playing out in your life and you're like, I'm not in my full abundance and I know I could be, you know, this is for you. Or if you want more clarity or more connection to yourself, this is for you. It is beyond any other course, it is completely brought to the planet by Archangel Zadkiel and these beloved realms that have created this in a way that you will transform, even if you've done this before. So that is one of my biggest calls to action. If you want to work with any of this energy of abundance and receiving and giving and flow and releasing any patterns that could be keeping you from that or anything else that you want to create in your life. And it's really a journey. It's a continual commitment to say yes to our abundant nature and our flow. It's not something we just work on once or twice and move on, because we have so much content. Look, we're born on this planet. We have a body of form. We have certain things that are already preset limitations when you come in, that are passed on from our parents and our culture. So there's a lot of beliefs around lack and what you deserve to have, or beliefs around those that are truly abundant, feeling jealousy or feeling anger or whatever, those are also signs that are like, well, that is holding you back from being your most wildly abundant, amazing self if you're carrying those judgments, and it really is nothing bad about having any of that, but to become aware. And June is the awareness month. To become aware that that's there is really going to support you to uncover what you need to do next, what tools, practices, what you could reach for to help you shift. But having the awareness that it's there helps us lift into a clearer space right away. And everything is in front of us this month. You're going to see everything. So if things are manifesting in your life that feel less than thrival and awesome, notice where your energy was. Where were you putting your energy? Were you really truly in that balance of giving and receiving? Were you tapped into your heart, and then lift into your heart, bring your hand to heart, take a breath, use the Avesa, use the tools to lift up and see a bigger perspective, and show me, where do I need to bring in healing to create a shift? We have to bring in tools and modalities on some of these really sticky pieces. And around abundance, we all have so much, we really have been told so many things. If you just look at the money piece, which is the biggest god revered on our planet, the false god of money, like, again, that's just the density version of abundance. But look at how much energy is around that. Money is the root of all evil. People that have money are jerks, So if we have beliefs like that, how on earth are we going to manifest? Because we say, oh, well, having money is bad. Those people are bad, right? And abundance, again, stretching it even bigger. It's like, how are you receiving every day in the flow of your day? Are you receiving the sunshine as the abundance it is? The air that you're breathing in is the abundance of oxygen that is available. Feeling the abundance of the leaves on the trees, and if you're in spring energy, the spring or the fall, like, are you receiving the abundance that is a thank you, that is an expressed gratitude? Do you receive that? If somebody gives you a compliment, do you receive that, or do you push it away? Right? And really, really feel into the energy that is underpinning all of your beliefs. Like, where is, follow those thoughts, follow those things, and you will uncover it. And then you can go in, say you use EFT tapping, or you use a quantum healing technique, or you use somatic healing, or whatever your toolkit is, or reach out and ask, show me what tools, there's so many ways that you can start working with this to really create a shift, because it has to go beyond just saying the words. You have to really like cycle out the old outdated tapes, reprogram them, and put them back in. That's why some of these tools are so incredible, because they can work quite quickly. And we can have a lot of shift over a short amount of time. And it really shouldn't be tons of effort. It just requires a commitment. It requires a commitment to doing the work and things like that. You know, I do see a little question that popped up from Pauline, differing from shamanic journey. I mean, shamanic journeying, your question about shamanic journeying, you know, it's really a lot of the time orientated in 3D and 4D energies, and also very, you know, often specific to different shamanic traditions. And there are, of course, interweavings in a lot of those traditions with, like you asked about the galactic and our galactic past and things like that. They're all connected. They're all connected. But when we are doing journey work in self-ascension, for example, if I'm doing a cosmic life regression or something like that, this is moving into a really huge perspective, very multi-dimensional space. And it's very much, you know, any of this work in self-ascension is so concentrated in the light and those energies that sometimes with shamanic, it's not every tradition or anything. I can't even speak to that, but oftentimes you're just digging into the pieces of the darkness or going through that shadow work, and that can be important parts of the journey and can resonate certainly. But really here we're focusing on the ascension, the lift, the cosmic, the pure crystalline light, frequencies that are accessible through Avesa and through energy imprints that are beyond this world and beyond this place. And awesome, B, that you signed up for the Inner Matrix. Yes, I'm so excited for you. Really, really beautiful. So I'm going to hop over to the phone line and see if we've got anyone over there. We do have some callers on the line. Let's hear Portland, Oregon. Hello. Looks like we've got Ashtara on the line. Namaste. Can you hear me? Oops. Let's see. Are you there now?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. Hooray.
I hear you.
Excellent. I hear
Yay.
you.
Great. Weird sound issues over here. So, hello, Jess. It's Ashtara, and I'm so happy to connect with you.
I'm so happy to connect with you too, Ashtara. Namaste. How can I help you or serve you today?
Well, I want to share miracles, of course.
Yay.
I'm finding myself in a massively transformative space and receiving things that I have wanted, yearned for, craved for, just been so attached to, and finding myself receiving so much in a space of, wow, do you notice you're receiving? Wow, that's cool. Yeah, enjoy that. And with no attachment. It's really been different.
I love this.
Yeah, me too. And then at the same time, there's a lot of disorientation for me, and I would love a mini reading with you today. Specifically around this disorientation. It's a multidimensional disorientation, and noticing how as I strive to maintain focus, there's so much distraction energy that my mind chases after. And I would just love some deeper insight.
Awesome. Thank you. It is my pleasure. And I'm just tuning in and tapping in, and you know, I see it and feel what you're feeling and experiencing. And it's almost like I want to say they're just, your guides are laughing and just saying it really is easy to disconnect the mind and to allow it to just, it's got to come into its rightful place. And that's right where you're at right now, which is why it's so active and it's getting caught up in the distractions. And it's such a piece of the distractions or those energies that seek to come in, and really relaxing, because they're sharing, it's like, it's really not a big, it's not a big deal. Like the mind might have made it a bigger deal than it is. It's really just that breath away and just staying really focused. And I am seeing for sure things that would support are getting into the water a lot, doing a foot bath, doing maybe like listening to water sounds, or doing a full bath, and really let yourself like just be in that flow and invite that release. It's like you are releasing so many old stories and old paradigms, and they're coming off so rapidly, but the mind and body are just going, oh, okay. Like they're trying to go into like their old habitual pattern, and it's okay. Like they are releasing, and really knowing that as you walk and are supported, just feel that blessing, keep feeling the blessings. And really, I think, you know, in even 4 or 5 days, as we move into the solstice, you're going to be feeling a lot of relief from some of those energies that may be playing around, and just claim your I am presence and your sovereignty, and just be in that. So thank you so much for calling us, Tara, and I trust and hope that this served you, dear one.
Oh, you are spot on, Jess. Thank you so much for that blessing. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you. Awesome. Okay, let's go over to, we got lots of callers on the line. I love it. California. Come on in, California. Hello.
Hello, Jess. This is Vera.
Who is this?
Vera.
Vera. Namaste and hello.
Hi. I was like, yes, I should definitely be receiving.
Woohoo! How can I serve you?
Well, first I feel like a lot of what you shared already really resonates, but I wanted to just ask for any particulars for myself because you know, I'm still dealing with like legal stuff in regards to the father of the children, and my mother is visiting at the same time. So there's a lot that I know is coming up, and I'm just would appreciate any support that you can share.
Absolutely. It's my honor. And first, thank you for calling in and taking this moment. And I'm just tuning in and connecting here and just feeling my heart so big around you. It's always a blessing to connect with your energy and just feel that pure love that you are. And I can see and feel that there are, yes, these other energies around, and it can even be, yeah, some of that distraction because there's other beings in your energy field. So just breathe right now, bringing your hand to your high heart, inhaling and exhaling. And what is being shared is the breath. It's all about the breath for you right now, and really up it even more. Be really, really present and see if you can track your inhalation fully and your exhalation in one conscious breath without the mind wandering. And it probably will do that often as you practice this during your day, and just bring it back to the breath every time it wants to do that until you really feel like you lock into having a full conscious breath. And then really let yourself expand into that moment of the breath between the breath. This is something Archangel Zadkiel talks about, I know, in Sacred Union, the Journey Home, and probably in Navigating the Inner Matrix, the breath between the breath, the moment between the moment, that there is this stillness, and that is what is calling. It's like the blue jewel in your heart is just emanating, and it's this stillness, this presence, this serenity. And you are just like, when you go into that space, you are untouchable, and you are lifting rapidly in so many ways. So just remember that breath is your best friend. And I do trust and hope this supported you and served you. Thank you so much, Vera.
Thank you. Thank you, Jess.
Namaste. Beautiful. Taking a breath. And let's pop over to, looks like we have B on the line in New York. B, namaste.
Namaste, sis. What's going on? It's been a wild journey since WWA Global. There's so much to share. Like you said it, Jess. You told me to say yes, and I went with it, and I jumped right in from going to Tosa Blue Mountain till now. I mean, I always knew I was in the flow, but now I know what it is to be in the flow. And it's been amazing. People finding me. My business has grown within the past 2 months, just Saturday alone, I had 11 trips, which I've never had.
Wow.
And I was able to have staff and cover me, and everybody was on the same vision. Everything went smoothly. I could not believe it, Jess. Like, when you're in the flow, national companies, big time multi-million-dollar companies are finding a woman-owned car service company right here in New York. It's been an incredible journey since Tosa Blue Mountain.
Oh my goodness,
And
I'm smiling. Oh, thank you. I'm smiling ear to ear to hear your sharing and hear how that's going. And I am celebrating you. I just want to jump up and down. That is so incredible. And like, how in the flow are you to have this massive banner, like record day, and everything to go smoothly, and to know, and those beings are finding you. So you know you are on your path and you're walking it and saying, yes, I am celebrating you. And we all are. Thank you for sharing this, like, miracle. I love it.
Thank you. Namaste. And if you have any insight, I appreciate it. But my guides tell me everything is just as it should be. And I can't thank you guys enough.
Aw, thank you, B. And yeah, I will share just for one moment in just the basking radiance. Like, yes, everything is absolutely, it's like all happening according to plan. Everything that you said yes to before you even took birth is manifesting in front of you right now. And now it just gets to be the fun of enjoying it, like really just continuing to live it and model it and shine it out, and just be ready and open for whatever else might be coming your way. It's incredible. And the blessing of having shared from, WWA with you, and just to see everything is, that's just for me the best part about being part of this community and this work. So thank you. And I know we all are celebrating with you and bowing before you. Thank you, B.
Thank you.
Thank you. Namaste. Awesome. Oh my gosh. And there's so many things being shared. I'm going to hop back over to the call lines in a minute. If anyone else, I know there's a few others waiting there. And if you want to get in, 517-208-1500 on the screen is your number to call in. And I just love all these examples in these sharings because, and questions, because everyone in their own way, we're all ascending, right? And wherever we're at, it's so beautiful because when one person calls in and shares, we all see that mirror of aspects of ourselves, and you might see yourself or hear something in there for yourself, so thank you all for calling in, because you're holding space for others. It truly does work this way. It's Master Lady Kira always would share that when on their shows, when people call in for readings, it's often, always really for everybody else that is tuning in that moment is receiving as well. And it really is the case, and it's absolutely astounding to share and hold space here. And I love these examples, and what B was sharing about WWA, that's the Women Wellness Awakenings she is talking about. So if you don't know what that is, we have a mentoring group that we meet with twice a month. That's Sri Ramka, Kira Ra, and myself that do these mentoring groups. And then we also have had a summit in March, and we will have another one in September. And I know in just the next few weeks, there will be a lot more being released about what September looks like, but there's ongoing mentorship opportunities and Women Wellness Awakenings. That's the code. That's the awakening for the planet. It starts with the women, and that's the divine feminine. Whether you associate yourself as being, it's not really about gender. It's about the divine feminine, but also women as the embodiment of the divine feminine, and the men and other beings that are championing the divine feminine. That's the moment that we're at right now. And when we are taking care and listening to women and the divine feminine within, irregardless of your gender, then we are moving into that energy of being able to be in true wellness. And from there, we can really, truly awaken. So, I'm bowing before B and all of those that were at WWA. And if you don't know about it, stay tuned to get on my newsletter. If you go to selfascensionstudios.com, I'll put that on the screen. You can get on my newsletter and I will let you know, and get on Shri and Kira's newsletter. Go to shriandkira.com and you will stay updated. If you want to get into the membership group for under $100 a month, you are getting really amazing on the spot coaching twice a month. And that has really been up leveling as well. So there's just so many different opportunities for support right now. And so much energy on this planet, and the energy of receiving that we've been talking about this hour, just hearing all of the sharings and just connecting with you in chat. I know this is hitting close. It's such an important conversation. And one that, like I was sharing earlier, we have to be reminded of often, because our habits will sometimes pull us back to an old programming, and we'll be realizing we're in that energy of scarcity again. There's not enough, and we're looking for, where's the next client if you own a business, or, where's my, raise if you're working for someone, or where's, the next romantic partner if you want a romantic partner, or whatever it is that you are seeking or looking for. In the energy of frustration, we will repel that which we wish to attract into our lives. We have to come into sincerity. And that's the thing about abundance and receiving: sincerity, love, and presence. If you can really be in that space, you're really in your sincerity, you're in your truth. If you're really in the love and you're in the presence, then it's so easy for the universe to see you and shower you with support. And it goes far beyond what our mind could ever comprehend that might all look like. It's really, truly beyond our own definitions of our mind, what's possible. So we have to keep opening up to, I'm open to receiving in this or something even better, because the universe might have more in store for you than what you even think is possible with your limited mind. It's that time to be really in that flow of potential and what's possible in this world right now. And I'm going to hop back over to the phone lines. We got a few other callers in here. I'm going to bring in, we got a wireless caller, hand raised. Hello, namaste.
Hi, Jess. It's Pauline from New York.
Hi, Pauline from New York.
I actually had, I guess, what you just talked about, imbalance. So I sort of put out, and it was instant that I put out that I felt, I had to speak to somebody, so I verbalized that I felt things were unbalanced, and then I got a shock of my life and what was replied. But at the same time, I knew about Saturn being in the house of fear, so I was like trying to be brave, and I actually said, I'm ready, and I forgot I had my, I don't know if the shield is back here, helped with bravery, but it was in the room when I actually put that out there, and then all of a sudden, all the past lives that was between me and this person came up to be cleared, so that I guess, it felt like then I was in balance. I was back into my own power again, because I was falling into whatever it was that was pulling me to give up my power to this person. It's a person that I believe is my twin flame, or whatever they want to call it. And so I had to speak up, and it was like very empowering, but I went through heck. I didn't actually open up my Avesa breath. I don't know if that would have helped, but I had to go through it, and I felt it, and I was able to bear it, because
Beautiful.
I had brought back, somebody had brought back my heart. My heart was split up in 8 pieces, and then I remembered this person, and I had 8 past lives. Okay. So I believe that's what that was all about, and I never was able to look at that. And actually, like you said, about the mental, I know about the mental information, but I didn't ever get to experience whatever I didn't want to feel. And I finally had the bravery to finally feel it. So now I'm just trying to get back into the flow again. because it threw me for a loop, quite a loop.
Wonderful.
I'm actually proud of myself. I'm thinking, wow, I really made it. It wasn't so scary.
Yeah, yeah, I'm proud of you too. You made it, right? When you make it to the other side, it's like, oh, that wasn't as scary as I thought.
Yeah, that was probably back in the day when I didn't know any better, but now I know I can handle anything.
Yes, you can.
I don't know if the shield of Sakio was part of the bravery, but I feel like it was.
That's a miracle. That's a miracle. Oh my gosh. Well, I know I'm celebrating you, and everyone here is celebrating you. That's a huge moment to walk through, and you anchored your mastery.
I'm looking forward to coming to the Tosa Brand. Now that I heard what Dee said about what changes, but I'm not in the space where she's at, but when I go there, I know it's going to make a huge change in my life, so I have to be ready.
Yes.
And I do have the courage now. I think I have the courage based on what I just did the one thing that I was afraid to deal with. I didn't even know I was afraid to deal with it until I actually went through it. I go, that explains why my heart split in 8 pieces. It didn't want to be there in my body to experience it. It just split. So now I know it made sense that it finally came back in my body, and now it's time to deal with, is that the inner matrix, what I just dealt with without knowing it?
Well, I think you are on that path of self-ascension, and you are navigating your inner matrix, yes, in these moments. So you're on the track. Get into it. It would have been nice to have help. Yes.
And I think that I'm supposed to sign up now.
Get into that. Get into navigating the inner matrix. Absolutely. I mean,
Can I ask you a quick question about the cosmic regression thing that you do? Do you mind my asking a quick question about it?
The cosmic.
Or should I do that privately with you?
Maybe send me a private email about that, and just so we can get other callers in and get wrapped up today. And I can definitely share with you on that. Yes. So thank you for sharing so much, and namaste. Have a beautiful day, Pauline.
You too.
Thank you. So yeah, I love it, and celebrating in this moment. It's so incredible, what Pauline's demonstrating, and so many of our callers is that trust and the commitment to go in and do it and do that work and walk through that moment, and to really have harnessed something at a deeper level than just saying we can't think our way out of these. We've got to feel it and work our way through, and just celebrating and honoring those that are saying, yes, I'm going to sign up for navigating inner matrix, or yes, I'm thinking about going to Tosa Blue Mountain, which is where Shri and Kira are, and the Self Ascension campus. It's incredible. The energy there is incredible. What happens when you're there is incredible, and can start so many miracles in your life by having been there. So yeah, I'm loving this. And let's go over. I want to sneak in because I know I want to get this caller in. We've got Alice here from California. Hey, Alice.
Good morning.
Hello. Namaste, my love.
Namaste. Thank you for all that you're sharing. It opens my heart every time I hear you, and connect with your show. So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. I that is a very high honor, and I receive the blessing of your sharing. Thank you.
Thank you. I have a very specific question that I would appreciate some insight on. And that is that several times now when I have been working with a client, massaging a client, about 2/3 of the way through, I am overwhelmed by, we'll just say it as, I've been overwhelmed by an energy, no pictures, no stories, nothing, just an energy. And I almost pass out, literally. And it takes about 10 to 15 minutes for that to clear. And I do have to end the session, which, professionally, my professional part of me is like, oh, I can't do that. And yet we all have to be safe. And so I'm just wondering, any insights on what that might be?
Yeah, I'm feeling into that. Thank you for asking. And as I'm just tapping in and feeling there, what comes up for me, if this resonates with you, it feels like a residual energy. It's like It's not like something new that comes in. It's something that's coming up as you're working, and it's something that you've already moved through or felt like you've cleared before. And these are like residuals, and you're so open in that flow that in that moment there is this, it's like that's the energy you're feeling, and that's what you're working with clearing through. So outside of the sessions, what's really coming in right now? I know already you love dancing, and getting outside with your bare feet and running your energy, doing that living ankh practice and using your rods at the same time. And I'm really hearing to like really engage that practice like 7 times, like 7 days in a row, and really let yourself run that energy. It just feels like there's just like residual or congestion or something that's what is kind of like Velcro or creating like this like little, and that you're calling in that ankh barefoot in the grass with your rods is going to really help you run the energy and move that out and support you moving forward. So I hope that this serves you and resonates with you, dear one. Thank you so much for calling in.
Oh, thank you. That's very helpful. Thank you.
Awesome. Namaste, Alice.
Namaste.
Beautiful. I love all the callers and calling in, you know, and it's so amazing to be in this service. My heart is so touched, you know, that, you know, those of you that are sharing, whether you called in or chat or email me or share with me, that, you know, that there's this resonation with what I'm sharing, because that's all my hope would ever be, that by being here and showing up and sharing in this energy, that it supports others and helps us all to remember the truth of who we are. And, you know, I love this topic of our abundance, because it's just such a rich area that I know that so many of us are having breakthroughs around. And if I can facilitate or assist, you know, one other breakthrough or my own next breakthrough by continually diving into this energy of like how we're receiving, what we deserve, where we might be holding ourselves back, and to really allow ourselves that opportunity to do the work to connect with our worthiness, to connect with where we might hold back, because it's the most important piece. Because imagine if more of us heal and really accept our truly vastly abundant nature, the impact that we have on the world. The more abundant we are, the more we can thrive, the more we can be supported, and the more we can support other beings to remember themselves and do what it is they're here to do. And it just becomes this exponential expansion. So it is definitely, I think, one of those places where watch out, 3D world, when enough of us have remembered and really tapped into this, we're changing the world with this. We're changing the world. You know, and speaking of changing the world, on June 19th, that is this Saturday, there's the solstice event. You know, last but not least, of all the things that have been happening, join this event. It's at shriankira.com. I will be sending out my own reminder too later today. This is a total donation event. I think it's 3 to 6 p.m. Eastern, I believe. You might want to double check the times. Go to shriankira.com and see the Juneteenth event, the Ring of Fire solstice event. There are going to be artists, there's going to be musicians, there's going to be performers, there are going to be blessings and prayers throughout the day. I will be there for a 5-minute blessing and prayer, offering that from here in beloved Lake Superior with you all, as well as a huge board of just amazing beings that are coming together. And it's such a small donation, really, but your donation is so huge. It's going to help the water bearers. It's going to support Clinica Linda. It's all going to these humanitarian aid efforts to support beings to get access to clean water and resources. So we really are putting the energy of we're better together and bringing those resources out to the world. And, you know, by participating in the solstice, it's a massive moment. It's another one of those up-level moments where we are being invited, the vision we've been holding since the new moon, we are really going to be in the energy of calling that forward ever more. And it's going to be an amazing moment of celebration. So really, please, please, with all of my heart, go get registered for June 19th and be there, you know, because we are definitely in the anchor between those equinoxes and the solstice. And when comes September, we will be harvesting many gifts. And the more we can be in it and just support those beings that are here to share their gifts and to receive those blessings on the 19th. I can't imagine a more amazing place to be. Of course, it will all be recorded if you can't join the whole event live, you know. So we're already up to the end of our hour, and thank you so much for joining me here today. I'm Jess Juntunen, and you can check out anything and everything about me over at selfascensionstudios.com. If you want to get in touch, you want to send an email, want to get on the newsletter list, you can do all of that right there. And you've been listening to Soul Fusion Cafe with me, Jess Juntunen, your host, every Tuesday here live at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Seeing so much beautiful chat that's still continuing to pop up. Yes, we rock. We are awesome. Namaste. Hello. Love all around. So many beautiful beings there. Come back next Tuesday live and hang out with me again at Soul Fusion Cafe. Until then, have a radiant day. Embrace this moment. Go forth and be the abundant you that you deserve and thrive. Many, many blessings.